into the video, guys. This video is sponsored by Go Jersey. Go Jersey is your best spot to go for cheap and high quality football jerseys or anything football in general. They got scarves, they've got flags, retro kits, regular kits, tracksuit from multiple different leagues: MLS, Premier League, La Liga, the Argentinian League, the Scottish League, Eredivisie. They've got everything for you. They actually sent me some of their products. They sent me firstly the 2015 away kit, which by the way looks absolutely stunning, quality absolutely elite as well to the minute detail. This season's away kit, the white one with the 1970s badge, long sleeve as well. And finally this beautiful tank top, which I don't think Barcelona sell, but they had a custom made. Absolutely fantastic, quality is elite. And if you go to the checkout and put the code BOY, BOY, you get 10% off your order. What more can you ask for? So hit the link, top link in the description down below. Go to gojersey.com, use the discount code BOY at checkout and get 10% off your order and get your new football merchandise today.
What's up, guys? It's your boy, Barca Boy 103. Today we're going to be discussing the big news coming out around the future of Xavi Hernandez, which all of a sudden, despite Barcelona's horrendous week last week, has taken a big turn. Apparently Xavi's a bit more optimistic. Apparently he's more open to stay. So much news to discuss around his future, as there will be a huge emergency meeting tomorrow to decide his future. So let's get into all the news, dissect it, analyze it. I'll give you guys my opinion and what I think the outcome will be. Of course, make sure you drop a like, subscribe down below, leave me in the comments down below your thoughts as well while we go through the video. But let's get right cracking into it. Now, this first report, the one who broke all the news, was Xavi Navarro, and he came out before the Clásico saying that there are inputs that Xavi will continue at Barcelona if Laporta concludes after tonight's game that he is the better option than Rafa Marquez and formally asks him to continue. So he's saying that after the Clásico, if Laporta feels like Xavi is the better man than Rafa Marquez, if he asks him to stay, he thinks that Xavi will comply. Now, this is now coming in following the Clásico defeat. Gigentes, of course, the outlet of Gerard Romero, came out saying that these are decisive days for Xavi's continuity. In the last week, Joan Laporta has insisted that he should continue. The coach is considering continuing if the board assures him of some changes in the team that did not happen last summer. Woo-wee! And then the morning after the Clásico is where the floodgates began to open. Fran Martinez from Deportivo came out saying that Xavi's continuity is the priority for Barcelona. People close to him admit that he has not changed his idea of leaving so far, but in the said meeting with the board, they can convince him to fulfill his contract. In the event that Xavi changes his decision, it must be clear under what conditions he does it and if those are accepted by the board. In that case, Xavi finally does not continue. Rafa Marquez is the chosen one to take over the Barca bench. At this point, it's pretty much cleared, as I told you guys last week in my exclusive video. If Xavi does not continue, Rafa Marquez is coming in. So get your mindset ready for that if Xavi does not change his decision. So Fran Martinez is saying right here, look, if Xavi does stay, he's going to stay under certain conditions that, of course, the whole entire board, Uste, Laporta, Masip, Boyan, all have to agree, Deco as well, all have to agree to. If they do agree to it, he'll stay. If not, he will leave. Now, Raccoon have come out saying that Xavi has asked to meet with the club's board to discuss his possible continuation. He wants guarantees to be able to strengthen the squad this summer. Rosero and Martinez came out afterwards as well, saying that Xavi is now open to staying at Barcelona for one more year and fulfilling his contract at Barcelona. They also came out saying that in the last month, Xavi has been satisfied with the evolution of the project and that it is continuing to be built with many youngsters. Now he believes that the work done so far can continue because he has felt support from within the club. Xavi has a very good relationship with Deco, Laporta, and Rafael Uste have supported him a lot. Remember when they were saying back in November, oh, Xavi and Deco don't like each other? Waffle, absolute bollocks. At the same time, important players in the squad have conveyed support to both the public and private of their wishes that he continues. Fans have also shown the confidence in the manager as well. Now, Mateo Marito from Olivo then came out saying that Barcelona have set a meeting with Xavi to discuss his future for this Wednesday, tomorrow, between the coach and the hierarchy. Now, there is a possibility that they could end up postponing that meeting, but that's when it's set for at the time of writing his report. In theory, Wednesday will be an important day regarding a decision. People close to Xavi say the matter has not changed as things stand, and his plan is to leave at the end of the season, but Barcelona are very confident that they can change his mind. President Joan Laporta is convinced that he can turn the situation around. Fabrizio Romano came out saying that Joan Laporta is doing everything possible to keep Xavi beyond this season. And finally, Alex Pentel from Relevo. He came out saying for Xavi to continue and to feel like Barcelona can compete at the high level, he is counting on the following. He wants a new fullback, he wants a pivot, whether it's Joshua Kimmich or Martin Zubimendi, and he also wants a player of the similar profile of Bernardo Silva. Bloody hell. Now, I, of course, been very adamant on the channel saying that I don't think Xavi will continue. I think if we win the Champions League final 10-0 in the Clasico, I don't think Xavi will stay. Of course, now that's not a reality. What boggles my mind the most is that we've just come off the back of a horrendous week, the most important week, I would say, in the club's history over the past 5 years, where you had two huge monumental games. We lost both, but yet now Xavi wants to stay. It's a very interesting situation. Now, again, it's not clear cut, it's not guaranteed, but there is definitely a shift in momentum from Xavi's perspective. He feels the support of the fans, of the players, of the board as well, and if things go his way, he does not mind staying. Now, in regards to the three positions that he's asking for, of course, as a fan, I fully agree. We need a pivot. We need a fullback. Do we need a player, Bernardo Silva? I personally don't think so, but if Xavi thinks that's the best, then fair enough. Give him, you have to back the manager. I think in terms of players like Bernardo Silva, Dani Olmo fits the mold as well. I'll talk about that in tomorrow's transfer video about the updates around that. Of course, everyone and their mothers know that Barcelona needs a pivot. A top fullback as well makes sense. Of whether that could be Joao Cancelo on a permanent transfer, I'm not quite too sure. There is also, of course, the question of the left winger position, but that's not really been, touted out in the media. Maybe Xavi will bet on Ansu Fati next season. I have no idea, but we do definitely need a pure left winger next season. So again, the case is set. Xavi has basically said through the media that he will continue at Barcelona if the club back him and bring the players that he wants this summer, and also on time as well. Keep in mind, last season we signed, of course, Romeu during the preseason tour. We signed Gundogan, Inigo, of course, beforehand. Then we signed the two Joaos with like 1 hour to spare on deadline day. Xavi did not like that. Of course, he got some of the players that he wanted. He wanted Ilkay Gundogan. He wanted Joao Cancelo. He didn't want Joao Felix. He didn't want Romeu. Remember, Romeu was 7th on Gerard Romero's pivot target list. You had Guido Rodriguez, you had Zubimendi, you had Kimmich, you had so many different names, and Romeo was smacked down at the bottom, and he ended up being the signing. Last summer, Xavi was not very pleased with Barcelona's acquisition and transfer dealings. Of course, losing Ousmane Dembele as well was big for Xavi's system and style of play. Again, it comes down to whether Barcelona can make those promises. And there have also been reports in the media saying that, Barcelona can't do anything this summer. We're going to only sell players and that's it. We can't sign players. It's impossible. That is not the reality. I told you guys in the last transfer video, in order to get back to the 1-1 rule in La Liga, we have to get the money for liberal football finance, 50% of Barca Vision, or we sign a new kit deal as well with that sign-on bonus of 100 million euros from either Nike or Puma. The return to the 1-1 rule is definitely on the table, feasible, and possible for Barcelona. And once that happens, then of course we can do some transfer dealings in the summer. Right now, selling players like Araujo for 90 million, Frankie de Jong for 70, Rafinha for 70, Christian for 70 does not benefit us whatsoever, because we are in the 1-3 rule, which means we can only use 1/3 of that transfer fee to improve the squad. The most important thing for Xavi is, of course, freedom, playing players that he wants to bring in at an adequate time as well, and of course making those changes that he wants to make. Again, personally, I am on the side of backing Xavi because there's no one out there that I think that can replace Xavi for the moment. Of course, there's been a lot of reports as well that in 2025, a lot of the managers that Barcelona would like are available. Luis Enrique's contract expires with the PSG. Arteta's contract expires with Arsenal. Pep Guardiola's contract expires with Man City. Of course, by then, Klopp would have had his year off and will be back in management. Now you're talking about players, and not players. Now you're talking about managers who can come in and replace Xavi. Right now, you have Hansi Flick, Thomas Tuchel, Rafa Marquez. It ain't worth it, bruv. Believe me. And of course, if Xavi next season goes on and does well, you can maybe renew his contract and give him the realms, of course, to continue. I think, of course, Klopp, keep in mind, Klopp, when he said that he'd go on a year break when he left Dortmund and when he left Mainz, I believe, he came back in like 3 or 4 months. So again, there is that possibility there. So we'll wait and see how things turn out. Of course, tomorrow in the meeting, Xavi will make it clear that, look, if you want me to stay, I want this, this, and this, and everyone on the board will say yes or no and comply to that. Maybe they'll reach a middle ground. Maybe the board will say, oh, okay, we'll give you Zubamendi or Kimmich, we can't give you Bernardo Silva. Maybe they'll reach some sort of an agreement at middle ground on what to do with the squad. Again, the squad is fairly good overall. I think it's very strong, of course, when it's fully fit and on form. It just needs a final few tweaks. If you told me right now, I would say give us a pivot, give us a left winger, and I think we can compete next season at the very, very highest level. I think we're 2 or 3 missing pieces away from this squad being fully competed, and my expectations being all the way up here on what to produce on the pitch. Again, what Xavi's done this season, to be honest, has not been his fault whatsoever. I think the only game that I can remember off the top of my head where I think that Xavi, you're 100% to blame for is the Super Cup final. Apart from that, I think it's all come down to the players not performing and individual mistakes that have cost us. Again, not holding on to leads, conceding very early. I don't think that comes down to Xavi. I think Xavi has coached us very well, of course, since his resignation. And even before his resignation, he set the team up perfectly well. Style of play, system, just the players couldn't really perform during that time, especially the November, January period as well. So wait and see how things turn out. Of course, keep your eyes on the channel for tomorrow where the big news will be revealed. I will upload a video whether or not Xavi decides to stay or decides to leave. But again, tomorrow in that meeting, that's where the decision is going to be made. Of course, in the comments down below, let me know your thoughts on Xavi staying. Would you want him to stay or not? Would you give him the signs that he wants? Of course, leave me all your thoughts down below. And of course, make sure you subscribe down below as well if you haven't already. And I will see you guys tomorrow for the big news. Take care and Forza Barca.
Yeah.